I am going to talk about how we could take a previous first place Kaggle solution and see if we can supercharge that using SIGOP to take us to even higher results than we initially got. And the particular challenge that I'm going to talk to you about is there was a Iceberg classifier challenge. Now, this challenge was launched about 3 years ago. And at the time, it was the most participated in ever image classification competition. So there was a lot of interest in this one. And what we're trying to do is classify ships versus icebergs using satellite imagery. Take a look at the images here on the screen and look at the ones that are labeled iceberg and look at the ones that are labeled ship. So when my eyes look at these images, what I see is it looks like a 1970s television with a bunch of snow in the background and a single dot in the center. There's not a lot that you can see here visually from a human perspective that gives you much insight into what's a ship and what's an iceberg. So as a data scientist, this is pretty intriguing. If I can't, there's a rule of thumb that I think a lot of us use is that if we can discriminate the differences between classes with our own eyes, well, then we should be able to train an AI system to do that. But when our own eyes can't see the difference, that becomes pretty interesting. So this was one of my first challenges that I worked on to really see what can AI do for me here? Because if this is reliant on a human to do this kind of classification, well, I think we have problems. So if AI can help us move that forward and solve this problem, great. I'm all in to help and work on that. So that's why I think this is a interesting problem and not your, run of the mill cats versus dogs, relatively large class difference that we're trying to discriminate against.